This is Bayou Fourche on Legendary difficulty, and I have reorganized my army so that I have 20-pound parrots. In are all my best units, and I have re-perked out my units also in camp, and now I'm ready to go. This is the army I'm going to take. You don't get to bring an extra unit in this battle. In a lot of battles, when you have reinforcements come in, you get to bring an extra unit. Nope, it's 15. That's what you get to bring. So I tested it out just to be sure, and it's 15. So okay, we bring 16,084 guns against 19,080 guns. We lose 1,400 men. He loses 16,000. That is just over 11 to 1. So the first phase of this battle, and I have a plan, which I'm going to execute pretty much as I imagine it. My plan is to sit back and destroy his artillery while my infantry walks to the north edge of the map from here. Oh, and here's a look at the change to the manpower pool, training, and armory. Yeah, manpower goes up a little bit, but it's still only 49 to 54. You will notice where I've placed my supply wagon. People have a lot of trouble in this battle, and I did this in my Major General playthrough. The trick to this battle is put your supply wagon right on the river line, and particularly if you're bringing in artillery. And what we're going to do is we're going to target his artillery for the first part of this battle and wipe it out. So watching this on video might not be the most fun for the viewer, but this is great fun to do, and it actually I'm loving this. I'm watching this and I'm loving every second because I know what's about to happen. This is just a thing of joy and beauty. Yeah, I think great classical music, beautiful painting. Yeah, this is a thing of enormous joy. I'm about to roll up 6 units of 20-pound parrots perfectly perked out for this job and turn it loose on his 80 guns. And his 80 guns are going to be wiped out. And yeah, and I have plenty of ammo. I'm putting the 3 guns to the south, fairly close to the ammo wagon. They're within range. It looks like one of them isn't, but he is. Looks like he's just outside the range, but he's within range. And all 3 of them sit there and blast. And when I leave, the entire force in the south of the map is completely in supply, completely supplied, topped off. And my plan is to move this supply wagon to the north of the map and then across the north edge of the map and then down south to the supply wagons and resupply them before they run out of ammo. So I don't think these guys run out of supply during the entire battle. So I'm not going to just fire at anything with these guns because they will run out. Oh, I think I put another perk into logistics too. So my logistics number is pretty high, which allows me to do this as well. So yeah, I think it might be 6. And I'm going to go to 10 eventually. Now the guys in the north, what are they doing? Well, the 24-pound howitzer is going along with these guys. I have to get him up, all these guys to the north crossing, because that's how they're going to cross. You can't really cross successfully to the south. And he has some very good sniper units here, and they have the scoped sniper weapon, the scoped Whitworth. And yeah, they do a lot of damage, these guys. And so, and of course 3 stars. So yeah, we want to wipe these guys out. And I see the guy on the north edge of the map to the left, and I want to make him retreat to the left so that he doesn't get away. The guy to the right, he's probably going to escape. So yeah, that guy's already routing to the right. He's probably going to route across the river, and we're going to have to deal with him. But I'm looking at this right now, and I'm thinking, that guy to the left, All I have to do is get make this guy on the right retreat, and then put a blocking force between him and the crossing, and he'll retreat to the left, and then I'll be able to run him down and kill him. So in the meantime, the artillery is just doing great work, targeting one enemy unit at a time and killing it. So 6 batteries are firing on one. Yeah, he actually has some shots on my infantry there, but he's going to get almost no kills. His artillery's not going to do anything this battle. It's just going to stand there and die. So yes, 3 batteries of 20-pound parrots and or 6 batteries of 20-pound parrots with 3 stars, all perked for long-range accuracy. I want to make sure they're all firing at the same unit and killing it. And we're going to cut off this this sniper unit with his scoped Whitworths and kill him. So I have 2 goals here in this battle, and that is to kill them all. I'm going to keep my losses down. I've never successfully been able to kill them all. They always escape, and if you've played this battle, you know that if you take the flag, there's a very short countdown timer, they escape. If you attack them head on, they will bull rush, all of them together, and cross the river and escape to the south. So it's very, very hard to kill them. And I don't know why, when they decide to retreat, that they all do this mad rush to the south, but it prevents you from killing them. So we're going to kill them all. And I come into this thinking that I figured out how to do that. I think it's going to be as simple as don't take the flag. Turns out to be a little more complex. It's something I have to adapt. A little something right at the end of the battle to make sure that the enemy doesn't escape. But the good news is that it works, and it means basically that you have to wipe out everything outside of the fort first. That's a given. I mean, that's pretty much every time you do this. Pretty much ignore the fort and go after his cav and any sniper units he has outside of the fort and wipe those guys out first. So we're going to do that. And then you have to wrap your entire army around the fort. So I came into this, I was thinking maybe I have too many infantry. Well, you actually have to cover a lot of space. You have to block off the north, the right side of the fort. You have to cut that off so that you're basically going to push them back against the river line. There's a clump of woods to the south, and then south of the woods, it's next to the fort, about where his enemy artillery is, you need a couple of infantry to approach that point, right there, where his artillery is sitting. You don't get to that point, but you have to kind of cut off the water, the river crossing that's between his artillery and my observation point. So that takes a while to do. And that's a perfect location for the batteries that are south of the river. Your batteries that are south of the river can come in, support the advance on the fort, but then kind of stay to the south, because the enemy is going to kind of congregate kind of to the left of the fort. He's going to abandon the fort and go to the left and to the south of the fort. And there's some weird thing there that distance is not measured the same as it is the rest of the map, where your long-range guns are not going to be able to reach him. It might be visibility. They're not able to... that doesn't make any sense, because you can fire at things that you can't see. The battery itself can't see it. I don't know. Maybe it's your line of sight, or it doesn't make any sense. There's some weird mechanic where you should be able to reach the enemy, but you have to get a lot closer to them than you normally do for them to be in range. So that was a bit of a surprise. It took me longer to get my artillery where I needed them to be able to fire on the enemy than I anticipated, but we got them there. So it just took longer. And if you know this going in, then you can get your artillery moving sooner. Get your infantry and artillery moving sooner. So that's what you're going to see. I am just absolutely loving this. His artillery is just dying hopeless death. I think this battle ends at 2000. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's the end. I've never actually reached the end of the battle, and I really take my time here. Here I'm just moving units up. I don't really want to engage. I just want to degrade the enemy in the fortification. I can see his cav to the rear. He's out of the range of my 24-pound howitzer. So I'm just going to blast at this guy in the fortified position and weaken him. But I'm not going to attack him yet. I'm going to kill his enemy artillery first. Move the 20-pound parrots north. My army gets to rest. And like I said, we have plenty of time. I want to get the 24-pound howitzer as close as possible to this guy, but not get into effective rifle range of his fortified position. So the 24-pound howitzer should have plenty of ammo for right now. And once again, I have a lot of perks in logistics. So he's down to his last 2 units. I'm just checking. He has 21 guns left from 80. And that's, that's just great. We're going to get them all. And it's only, we're coming up on 1 o'clock. Game time. Yeah, I'm checking to see if my 24-pound howitzer is within exploding shell range. I don't expect him to be in canister range. So the ammo wagon is doing fine. And he's gone. He's down to his last unit. That is nothing but great news. Those 20-pound parrots have done great work. Yeah, it looks like he's in exploding shell range and he's taking losses. He's a 3-star unit. So, yeah, we're going to wear him down a little bit. So the artillery on the left is flashing for ammo. I knew that would happen. That they just couldn't sit over there and fire indefinitely. I was hoping we'd be able to completely wipe this guy out, wipe out his artillery before my units ran out of ammo on the left. But no, I decided, okay, we're going to get the supply wagon moving. It's a long way to the north. Might as well start that journey now. So instead of being completely full, my 20-pound parrots in the south will be almost completely full. 1 or 2 shots less than full. Not too bad. Yeah, he's down to under 100, 90, 80, gone. So that is the end of that. His artillery is gone. He has no more artillery on this map. So here's the neat thing about the 20-pound parrot. The exploding shell range is can give cover to your advancing infantry. So yeah, I want to shut these guys off. I don't want him to fire. Yeah, he has incredibly long range, and I don't want him to fire at that guy in the fortification. That's a waste of ammo. So, but what these guys can do is if I bump into one of, say, his sniper unit or something, um, the detached skirmishers will bump into the sniper first, the infantry will come up, and from this range, my artillery might be able to provide exploding shell fire support. So as you advance, the 20-pound Parrot can give very good fire support to your advancing infantry that the 24 howitzer cannot. 24 howitzer is better if you're retreating. The 20-pound Parrot is better if you're attacking. So yeah, that exploding shell range does a pretty good job. So yeah, we have the 20-pound Parrots on the road. The 24-pound howitzer is softening up the enemy. We're staying out of infantry fire until the 20-pound Parrots get online. Try to stay on the road as much as possible. Get the supply wagon up. Yeah, the supply wagon now has to get around the map, to the right side of the map, down to the south, and reunite with the artillery that's in the south across the river right now, and keep those guys in the game. Or, you know, they could just fire at 1/3 speed, either way, really. Okay, we're going to get the 20-pound Parrots are up, and we're going to get them refilled and deliver medium distance fire onto that target. Yeah, look at that. He's now getting hit with 4 3-star artillery units. Get my infantry a little closer. Oh, look at that. Look at those numbers just fall. We're still out of his, he can't fire back. He's just taking damage. And my units must have been refilling ammo on the way north as they moved with the supply wagon. So now I'm going to hit him with detached skirmishers. And my detached skirmishers take a shot and he folds. So that was the least expensive crossing I've ever had. Now I want to kill his commander. If I can kill his commander, this battle just got a whole lot easier. And the army needs to move across the water. If he counterattacks, I do have supporting fire from the 20-pound Parrots. The 24-pound howitzer, I should shut him off. And his unit recovers in 1/100th of a decimal second, because this is legendary and it doesn't matter. Look at his numbers just collapse. That's just terrific. Shift back. I want to kill that general. That's who I really want. Now we're just going to get everybody across the river. That was about as smooth a river crossing. No, that was the smoothest river crossing at this point that I've ever had. Yeah, he is definitely losing that exchange. So I'd be happy to do that, 5 or 6 more times. And if I can get my artillery up and online with this guy, then we're going to be able to kill him with mostly artillery. So I have detached skirmishers to the front so that if he fires, he doesn't do much damage. But when the detached skirmishers fall back past the infantry will get a shot on him. Okay, not a surprise. He has a sniper there. So we're going to pound on this guy for a while. And yeah, 2 detached skirmishers and 3 artillery. And yeah, he's a high value target and we want to take this guy out. One thing you don't want to do is have your artillery too close to each other, by the way. I've noticed that they tend to get exhausted. I think they start bouncing around and moving. Now they'll move even though they're unlimbered. So they'll shuffle around, but I've noted, and it happens here, 2 of my artillery get exhausted and they're not doing very much. So yeah, they go right to 0 condition. And apparently there's some kind of a bug in the game where, like, that guy, 10 and 11% condition. Those guys are probably walking on each other. And there's a thing where they're, like, running in place. The other thing is, sometimes the artillery seems like it'll move. Um, it'll move unlimbered. So the guys are pushing the cannons instead of hooking them up to horses. That exhausts them too. I mean, there's a reason to hit fall back, and fall back they don't mount. They don't hook the guns up to horses and move quickly. They just slide the guns on wheels, and there's a reason to do that. When you hit fall back, they just move backwards a little bit, but they fire much faster. That does burn condition, but there are times when that's really effective. So yeah, now I have 2 exhausted units, which means they're completely useless to me. And I notice now that they're exhausted and they're not going to perform, so I just turn them off, and now I have to wait till they recover. So I have 2 units of very good artillery that are going to sit out about 20 minutes of the battle. 20 minutes in game. Okay, down in the south, I'm facing more cav than I thought I would. 3 cav and 1 sniper. I want to stay away from the infantry and the fortification. 3 cav and 1 sniper. I have 3 artillery. So, yeah, I'm making sure that I'm going to clean off the north right corner of the map. Make sure that that's clean. Send the detached skirmisher over there, that he doesn't have anybody hiding there, because sometimes his cav will go that way. I do see a supply wagon, gonna snag that. And then you'll see I have 4 infantry units. They're going to move all the way to the south edge of the map, because that's where the enemy is. So we're gonna kill we're gonna kill that guy, or those guys. There's a sniper and 2 infantry on the right side. We're gonna wipe those guys out and hopefully put a huge dent, if not kill, the cav unit that has drifted off to the left. I wish he had stayed to the right so I could round him up with the other cav. And my goal is I don't want them to escape and get back into the fort. So yeah, his cav on the left is just a little bit too far away. Okay, the cav unit on the left is just too far away. So fortunately, he retreats to the south. That's exactly what I want him to do. I want to isolate these guys and kill them. And there's not a huge gap between my 2 forces right now. They've almost reconnected. And that was the goal. Reconnect these guys. And I can keep a supply wagon to the north, and 1 to the south. So the first target is the sniper, and then all we have to do is keep the cav, his cav isolated. Really want to kill the sniper. Yeah, the neat thing about his cav is he will back off if you hit him with the fire from 3 or 4 units. And detached skirmishers are perfect for this. So his sniper unit is fortunately breaking to the right, which means he's dead. Now we've got these guys cornered. And the other good thing is my 2 forces have now reconnected. Okay, I should have known he was going to do this. His cav unit is going to try to get behind my army. He has the low ground, I have the high ground. I'm not trying to wipe him out, but I am trying to keep him from moving to the left side of the map and then getting behind my army. So I'm going to hit him with everything that I can. And I even charge him. Now break contact and fire, and he's dead. So that was very fortunate. But if he'd retreated back toward the fort, that would have been fine. I just didn't want him to retreat to the north. So, and get behind my army. And I didn't want him to do that ghost cav thing, which sometimes happens in this battle. So he's advancing out. I'm going to fall back closer to my artillery support so he can take some of that lovely exploding shell damage. His cav to the south is being damaged and corralled. So he's doomed. I mean, he's doomed. The detached skirmishers and 1 or 2 infantry units will be able to easily contain that. So he has his 2 cav units, one of which is now pretty small, and his sniper unit are down there, and I can get some infantry moving back to the north, which is unfortunately uphill, but I need them back in the north. Because remember I said you have to approach this thing from every direction around the fort. And his units that are in the woods are going to be a bit of a headache, but that's okay. Once we take those woods, the fort is untenable. I really like on Legendary that the enemy comes after you. He's actually coming out of the fort to attack. That is just, that's perfect. Could not be more pleased. I have two very nice artillery batteries that are just going to get all kinds of kills. And it's a whole lot easier to fight these guys in the open than it is to fight them while they're in the fort. So I moved 2 infantry to the south to make sure this guy couldn't get away, but mostly the work is, I intend for the work to be done with the detached skirmishers. Only have one kind of circle around these guys. The trick to it, as we all know, is do not push too close to the units so that they start to run away, which I have done now a couple of times in this campaign. So I want to keep my my units at max range and also pay very close attention if they start to drift in any direction to make sure I back off. So yeah, that looks like a nice distance there. Move my 24 howitzers a little closer to where the next bit of fighting is going to take place. But really, I don't want to start the attack until I can get all my artillery to the south, kind of firing to the north instead of to the south. Yeah, his units are already starting to rout just from artillery fire. Okay, he's down to almost nothing, so I get my infantry units started. And in hindsight, those 2 infantry units, I should have moved them to the south. Like I'm moving one to the north up the road. That's actually a very long walk up the road, uphill. And where I'm going to need him eventually is actually to the south of the fort in that open area. So he's on a very long walk. But that's the thing in this battle. You have plenty of time, and all of my units, I mean, look at the enormous distance these units are traveling. You know, it's probably why I recommend for some of these side battles, use your best units because they have the most condition, if nothing else. That these guys, I move, fight, then rest them, move, fight, rest. So, yeah. Yeah, this is what I mean by, from this point on, your units will have to attack, and you'll be on the offense. So we get into melee with his sniper. Not against that. That is not necessarily a bad thing. Anything to kill that guy. Okay, his guy he had a guy in the fort who got flanked and folded right away. Now I need to get the artillery up. That unit to the right that's moving up that hill is going to take forever. Yeah, we're in good shape. We're in good shape. Right now we're just getting the army online before we push on to the fort. And the biggest thing is I need to get my artillery up. Yeah, now I've taken the woods, and his position, yeah, his position is really bad. Okay, didn't like that. Yeah, he has Fayettevilles, so Yep, and he did not like that canister. So move my artillery up closer to the line because we're about to advance. Yeah, that infantry unit right there is going to a place that's going to be really important. I don't realize it at the time, but that's going to be really, really valuable. It's the position in the south right now that's very important, not the one in the north. Because I'm playing this, I'm thinking the one in the north is the important one. And that infantry unit, the Iron Brigade, taking his place against the fort north of the woods is important. It isn't. Where the real action is in the south. That's the crucial part. You see, I'm targeting everybody on the sniper. Hate the sniper. Yeah, look at that guy. He's firing at my guy in the woods, and I have to send out a detached skirmisher because he's so deadly. Now, I don't want to trip the flag, so I'm staying away from the flag. I'd like to close in with that guy with my detached skirmisher, but I can't because the flag is there. So at this point, I have to guess how close I can get to the flag, and really what I should be doing is just shifting around to the left and right of the flag and just ignoring it. Because I'm thinking the enemy's going to counterattack like crazy back into the fort, and that isn't going to happen. So you'll see I have a whole bunch of artillery that's, specifically going to fire into his units who counterattack, and I'm waiting on a counterattack that's never going to materialize. What I should do is shift the. I don't have to defend the other side of the flag. Just shift everybody right and left because he's never going to come after the flag. Um, and what I'm doing in the south is actually the thing that's really the most valuable for killing them all. Because right now the objective is not to take the flag. As you can see, I could just walk in and take it. The objective is to kill them all. And he still has a lot of troops at this point. And it's closing in on 1800. Yeah, I'm thinking, how close can I get and, not trip that thing? So I recommend saving frequently at this point, so I can see how close I get to the ammo dump. I have to get fairly close to trip it. The ammo dump just went to me, so that's good. Yeah, at this point, I probably should have turned my ammo wagons off. I bet everything here gets supplied by that ammo dump. Or I should have turned my supply wagons off just to see. And yeah, at this point, all of the free kills you can rack up with your artillery is good, because it's just free. Okay, I do not want you getting away. I don't want these guys to get away. And detached skirmishers are the key. So yeah, I'm detaching the skirmishers. He always makes a break for that crossing. So I'm trying to shift everybody to the left, and that's what I'm saying. I should have had everyone shifting to the left earlier. So there was about, I don't know, an hour in game, I could have had everyone shifting to the left. And even the Iron Brigade, you'll see where he's located. He should have shifted to the left too. So Yeah, lots of detached skirmishers, and you stack them up too deep, units too deep here in the south, and the enemy will retreat then away from this crossing. But that's what you want to do. You want to convince him that he's not going to cross. Now he's attacking. Makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Attack with his good unit to try to get out of there. I've got to stop this guy. So whatever it takes, this guy has to be stopped and pushed back. Yeah, Fayetteville's firing at my detached skirmisher in the open, a guaranteed rout. But I've got 3 units and lots of artillery coming in on these guys. Should be able to do a job. He's actually attacking in the north, and that guy's going to rout. So now I've gotten around the flag. Yeah, I had a major general just get wounded. The Iron Brigade had to turn because he was about to get flanked. But what we did is we just not only defeated his attack, but now we have them nicely pocketed, and I'm on the other side of the victory location. Yeah, his units don't know where to go right now. Yeah, we're in really good shape. If we can just fire into these guys for, a while longer without him breaking out of this pocket, we got him. And I could let him go, but I'm willing to take some losses, which I do. I do take some losses doing this. I don't want him to escape. He's been degraded really a lot, and I want to get this guy. So, yeah, this thing is over. His units are going to either survive or escape. There's nothing else for this. I'm going all in. I want this. I've never managed to capture them all. And yes, the first unit surrenders, get him out of there. Now we have to really think about who we're going to hit. That guy in the middle of the fort, he surrendered. I didn't notice it right away, but he surrendered. Get him out of there. And now have everybody run and get into this battle and jump on these guys. And he already has 1 unit that looks like it's right there. It's right about to get away. He's in the water, and I'm afraid he's going to make it. Yes, got him. Okay, and another one surrendered. He's down to the last 2. I've got 16 minutes on the clock for the countdown timer. Another one surrendered. He's got his last unit down to 500. He went 600, 500, and got him. So 3,800 captured. That put a nice dent in his manpower pool. Got them all. 1,800 less medicine, whatever. About 1,400 casualties, over 11 to 1. For units, yeah, 15. The Iron Brigade took the most losses. He was right in the middle of that fighting there at the end. Everybody else took really light losses. 290 is the worst after the Iron Brigade. So yeah, the 20-pound parrots got about 1,000 each. So how the 24-pound howitzer only got was not in a lot of the fighting, only about 400. So yeah, you need that long-range killing power. Got another 3-star general. Lane was wounded, so he'll come back. Fayetteville's, yep, Fayetteville's are great. I'll take those. And Whitworth TS's, he had some of those. So I won't collect enough of those to do anything, and I have plenty of JF Browns. So yeah, that was fun. That was the best best result I've ever gotten in that battle. That's the only time I played it dozens of times. It's the only time I ever got them all. Yeah, the 20-pound parrots are golden from here on out. My commanders have, I'm checking, yeah, the unit went up in efficiency because of the kills, but I have really good 3-stars in those artillery units. And of course, they're going to stay in those artillery units. And yeah, it's golden. So he went up 3 in manpower pool because he got 20,100 troops. But he didn't go up in training, and he didn't go up in armory. So that's good. Next battle, Chickamauga. Looking forward to that. And then, yeah, the battles after Chickamauga will be fun. Training, not too concerned about it. Logistics is at 6. I'll probably go to 7, and then on to 10. So see you in the next battle.